I'm Ed Fritz, the owner of AtticFoil.com. In this video, I'm going to go over the different products we manufacture and the most common applications for each product. The purpose is to help you determine which product is right for your specific application. The most popular product we make is a double-sided, heavyweight, perforated, radiant barrier foil. Like I said, this is a heavyweight product. It weighs about 28 to 29 pounds for a standard 1,000 square foot roll. It's also tear-proof. When I say tear-proof, I mean it's really tear-proof. It is virtually impossible to tear. I encourage you to visit the website. We've got over 1,000 customer reviews. And one of the most common comments is just how strong and durable it is. Why is that important? Well, if you're installing it in an attic and you're stapling it to the bottom of the rafters, you're going to be pulling and tugging and wrapping around wood. You don't want it to tear or get snagged or anything else. Also, when you're stapling it up, if you need to relocate it or move it, you can just pull the foil out. The staple will actually come with the foil rather than tearing through, and then you can relocate and staple as needed. It's also a perforated product. Now, a perforated product means it's not a vapor barrier. It will allow moisture in its vapor form to pass through. Now, if you're doing an attic application, you always want to use a perforated product. We do make a solid product, but that's for special applications. The perforated product is what you're always going to use inside an attic. It will allow moisture to freely pass through without getting trapped. Now, a perforated product, kind of the way to describe it as far as it's not a vapor barrier, if you folded it up and you made a little bag out of it and you put a wet sponge in and you came back a few days later, it would be dry. It would be able to dry, the moisture vapor could pass through. If it was a solid product, that moisture would stay trapped. You do not want to put a vapor barrier in an attic. Always use a perforated product. In the double-sided heavyweight product, we make 3 different size rolls as far as width. And I'm going to show each of these to you and then go over the specific applications for each one. The standard or most popular product is the 48-inch wide product. We also make a 26-inch wide roll. Same exact product, just a little narrower. And finally, we make a 60-inch product. We're the only manufacturer who makes a 60-inch wide, double-sided, perforated radiant barrier foil. Now I'm going to go over the different applications for each specific size. The 48-inch, or the 4-foot, like I said, is the most popular. For most attics, this is the product you're going to buy. If you're going to staple it up, you're typically going to run the product horizontally across the rafters, either starting at the bottom and working the way up, or starting at the top and working the way down. So this is a great product for staple up. Or you can also use it for the over insulation method. That's where you're laying it out on top of the insulation. You're just going to lay it out, you're going to overlap it about an inch or two, and not tack it down. You don't have to do anything special. It works great. It's perforated. You're not going to have a vapor barrier. The 26-inch product is specifically designed for truss-built attics. Now, the 48-inch typically going to run horizontal across the rafters. In a truss attic, there's so much webbing and so many jack supports, it's virtually impossible to run horizontal. So you're going to run your product vertically up and down between the trusses. Typically, your trusses are on 24-inch centers. With a 26-inch product, you've got enough material to completely cover the bottom of each side of the rafter, so you can easily staple it in. Or you can lay it out over the insulation. You would just cut the pieces to length, and you would start in the center, measure a piece out to the wall, say you need 12 feet, and just push it out and lay it on top of the insulation for the over insulation method. Finally, we have the 60-inch wide product. Now, quite honestly, the 60-inch product is not a good fit for most residential applications. It's just too wide and a little difficult to handle in a typical attic. It's really designed for more commercial applications. We're seeing it used in a lot of warehouses, barns, airplane hangars, mini storage units, any place where you need to cover a lot of area and you want to get maximum coverage. Now remember, we're the only manufacturer who makes a 60-inch wide perforated product. The next product I want to talk about is our single-sided radiant barrier product. Now this is the exact same product as a double-sided, except it only has one layer of aluminum foil. You can see it's shiny on one side, and it's got just the milky finish on the other side because it only has one layer of aluminum foil. The single-sided perforated product is available in both the 48-inch wide and the 60-inch wide rolls. It's the most common application is under raised roofing systems. These are systems that have an airspace between the roof and the deck. Typically, these are tile roofs, concrete tile roofs, or standing seam metal roofs where the roof is sitting above the deck. It would be put below the airspace with the foil facing up. So coming from the top down, you're going to have, for example, tile, airspace, foil, some type of waterproof membrane, and then the roofing deck. Another application for the single-sided radiant barrier is as a house wrap product. Now we make a 60-inch roll, which is perfect if you're doing a 10-foot wall. You can put two pieces on top of each other and have a single seam for a 10-foot wall. The foil would face out, the milky side would face against the sheathing. It'll give you a good barrier against air infiltration, also a good barrier against liquid water as a secondary drainage plane. And finally, because it's perforated, it's not a vapor barrier. It will allow for moisture inside the wall to dry to the outside. Finally, the last product we manufacture is a double-sided, solid version of our radiant barrier. It's the exact same product as the perforated, except it's solid. It does not have the little holes which allow moisture to pass through. So it is a vapor barrier. Now that may be a good thing, but it also means that water cannot escape. So if you've got a question as far as a specific application, give us a call on the technical line and we'll help you decide if a solid product is right for your application. So to recap the different products we make at AtticFoil.com, we make a double-sided heavyweight perforated foil. It's available both in 48-inch wide rolls, 26-inch rolls, and the 60-inch wide rolls. We also make a single-sided product, which has foil on one side, in a perforated product. We make it in a 48-inch and the 60-inch. And finally, we make a double-sided solid product, which is a vapor barrier. For more information about radiant barrier, questions, install, tips, tricks, anything you need, give us a call at 800-595-8772 or visit the website AtticFoil.com.